The idea of having a Christmas without its usual raucous celebrations, eating too much turkey, large family gatherings, festive lights and carol singing seems almost unimaginable to many of us. The same was true as far back as the 1640s, when the Parliament of England, Scotland and Ireland effectively tried to ban Christmas, and it went about as well as you might imagine. By the middle of the 1640s, King Charles I and the Royalists were losing the English Civil War. By 1647, the king was held in captivity at Hampton Court Palace, and the Puritan Parliament had set about a Protestant Reformation, and Christmas was firmly in their sights.
The whole point of the Puritan criticism of Christmas was that it had lost its true meaning and significance as a religious festival, and had become instead an excuse for something much more sensuous, something that had nothing to do with thinking about the birth of Christ, and everything to do with people having fun and having a good time. So this really was a kind of culture war that was going on between two significant groups of people in 17th century England: the Puritans, who were religious Protestants, and the Royalists under King Charles. In 1644, Parliament brought in an order which prevented people from celebrating Christmas in the usual way with feasting and jollities, and instead imposed what was called a fast day, whereby the population had to spend the time in praying and fasting. And then in 1647, they brought in another order, making all kinds of holidays, holy days as they were called, illegal.
This order meant that displaying Christmas decorations such as holly and ivy were banned. Shops had to remain open on Christmas Day, and other traditions such as feasting and celebratory drinking of alcohol were similarly restricted. This did not, however, result in the quiet, contemplative Christmas that the Puritans had hoped for. People openly flouted the rules. The Mayor of London was verbally assaulted as he tried to rip down the Christmas decorations with the city's regiment. In Ipswich and Bury St Edmunds, young men patrolled the streets with spiked clubs to persuade the shopkeepers to stay shut.
One good example of an active hostile response to the Puritan edict on Christmas came in Canterbury. The mayor of Canterbury, who was a Puritan, decreed that the market in Canterbury should open on Christmas Day. And this provoked a great deal of hostile reaction in the town that led to rioting. This was a major riot in Canterbury, and quite significant politically, because it was a direct challenge to what the Puritans there were trying to do.
Several of the cities that had seen Christmas riots flare up in 1647, such as Canterbury, Norwich and Bury St Edmunds, went on to play a part in the series of revolts across the country that made up the Second Civil War. Following his defeat, King Charles I was ultimately put on trial and executed. Britain became a republic, and Christmas continued to be restricted by the Puritans until the restoration of the monarchy in 1660.
When the monarchy came back, all the Puritan legislation on every aspect of life really was cancelled and destroyed and torn up. They literally destroyed by fire all the Acts of Parliament and ordinances that Parliament had brought in.
So Britain got its monarchy back, and the people got back their Christmas frivolities. And Parliament has remained wary of interfering in the way people celebrate Christmas right through to the present day.